Hey everyone, I am super excited for today's video because we are going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite makeup products, bronzer. Well, bronzer and contour, but you get the idea. There have been so many new bronzer releases in 2024, even in the last like 1 to 2 months alone. So today I have compiled my top 5 recommendations. So today we're gonna swatch them, test them out, and compare them to one another so that you can decide which one would be best for you. At this point, I've spent a little over a month now wearing these bronzers, testing them out, putting them with different products. So I feel like I've really done my due diligence in providing you these recommendations. This is not a first impressions video. We've tried these out over a period of time. Here's my thoughts on them. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please keep on watching. If you're new here, hi, my name is Molly. This is my new YouTube channel, The Beauty of It All. I am a Sephora employee and beauty lover. And here on my channel, we talk about makeup tips, we go over product reviews and recommendations, and create some really beautiful looks. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider doing so. Let's jump right into things. First, I want to just share the 5 bronzers that we're going to be talking about today. So first up, we have the CL Sculpt and Protect SPF 30 Bronzing Contour Stick. Then we have the Sephora Collection Cream Contour Stick, the Say Dew Bronze Soft Focus Effortless Liquid Bronzer, Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Multi-Use Bronzing and Shaping Serum, and last but not least, the Armani Luminous Silk Creamy Bronzing Powder. Now, to be clear right up front, I really do like all of these products, but I like them for different reasons. So we're gonna talk about some of the nuances here today so that you can figure out what might be best for you. Starting off with the CL Sculpt Stick. Now, one thing that I really like about this product that they did very well was the packaging. So you can obviously see that this is a very sleek, slim packaging. This is pretty unique to the market. The one that comes to mind when I see this that I don't personally have, but I know is a similar format, is actually the Victoria Beckham Contour Stick. Now it's even smaller and more narrow than this, but this really allows you to get pretty precise application or even contour your nose if you'd like. So here's the packaging, and then this is the product inside. You get 7 grams of product in here, and this retails for $34. I picked up the shade 2. One thing I will say that I'm a little disappointed in with the product is the shade range. So again, I mentioned I picked up the shade 2. There's only 4 shades. I picked up the first shade and it really unfortunately blended away into almost nothing on my face. So I did have to go back and get a deeper shade. And I'm very light, so it just kind of tells me that for the deeper skin tones, this is not unfortunately going to be the best shade range for you, which is really disappointing because I love my CL skin tint so much. And when I'm working at Sephora, I feel like I can usually find like nearly a shade for everyone. Like the shades are pretty flexible, but was a little disappointed with this guy. But I'm gonna go ahead and swatch on my arm here so you can see. So that's this first shade. So really kind of a little bit, I would say that on me, this pulls a little bit warmer than some of the others that we'll talk about today. But it's got a really nice natural matte finish and it doesn't have a lot of shine, which I appreciate. So what I'm gonna do is on one half of my face, I'm gonna swatch this and then we'll move on to the second bronzer on the other side of my face. What I've noticed is that this almost looks better on either bare or lightly prepped skin. And so you'll see as I apply it, it's got almost a little bit of a tug to it because of that natural matte finish. It does not glide like other bronzing or contour sticks that we're going to talk about today, which I'm okay with because honestly, I feel like everything on the market right now is really, really dewy, luminous, which there's definitely a place for and I like, but this is something different right now. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more kind of by my eye and a little bit on my forehead here. And then I'm just gonna take this as just a Real Techniques brush and start to blend it in. Now, you'll notice as I'm blending this in, you have to work a little bit more with this product. And again, I think that's due to the natural matte finish, but just know that like this is not something that you could blend in with your fingers necessarily, but it does end up blending out pretty nicely. So I'm just gonna continue to blend this out. And I think it's interesting, you know, even as I'm blending this out, it's it's blending, it is blending well into the skin, but back to what I said earlier about like the lightest shade really blending away into nothing. You have to be careful with this because I feel like you can't, like I could do this with this shade as well. Like as I continue to blend in, we just want to be a little bit careful not to overblend so that it just completely takes it away. But here is this CL Sculpt stick. Really pretty. There's not like luminosity or a sheen or a shine coming from this, which I really like. This is also a product that I've noticed is really easy to reapply throughout the day. And then obviously a great benefit that you're getting the SPF 30. Now, don't confuse this with replacing your SPF. We all know that it's great when makeup has SPF, but it does not have enough to actually replace your SPF. So overall, if you like a really natural makeup look, or if you have particularly oily skin, I do really think this would be an awesome product for you. Next, I'm actually going to demo the Makeup by Mario Bronzing Serum in one of the many ways that you can use this. So I'm sure by now a lot of you have seen this product. It's gone super viral. This is the newest addition to the Soft Sculpt family that Makeup by Mario has. And so you have a pump applicator up here at the top, but then what's so brilliant about this product is that it also comes as a doe foot applicator. So you get multiple ways that you're able to apply this product. I picked up the shade light medium, and just to again swatch here compared to the CL skin tint. So you can obviously see there is a bit of a shade difference. I'm just gonna kind of blend this out so you can see a little better. This one is definitely pulling a little bit more neutral. The CL is quite warm. I was a little on the fence with shades because I felt like the light shade of this actually worked a little bit better with my skin. But similar to the lightest shade of the CL, I feel like it would have kind of blended away into almost nothing on my skin. So I picked up the light medium shade, which is the same shade that I have in his Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I'm obsessed with this product. I talked about it in my very first YouTube video actually as one of my kind of holy grails, just to swatch compared to this shade of light medium. Let me build this up a little bit. They are fairly similar in person. I feel like I can tell that the light medium of the Transforming Skin Enhancer has a little bit more of a cool undertone than the light medium in the Shaping Serum, but they're both still beautiful. And Mario did something that was really helpful on the Sephora website, and they created an image that goes over like the different Soft Sculpt products so that you can know which one is best suited for your particular desired finish, level of application, etc. You can see that if you want more of a natural finish, you would want to reach for the serum. For a more dewy finish, this Transforming Skin Enhancer, and then the Shaping Stick for that full coverage matte finish. I don't have the Shaping Stick, that's the only one that I don't have. Both of these though have been really impressive so far. So like I said, I'm gonna demo this in one of the many ways you can use it. I'm gonna take the doe foot applicator. So this is the side that you would use if you wanted more of a sculpted look, and you would place it in that, you know, similar vein of where I just placed that CL Sculpt stick. So I'm just gonna take, and I will say with this, I've noticed you can like apply a good amount and it's not super hard to overdo. And again, I'm gonna put a little by the eye, and then I'm just gonna take a bit more on the forehead. The formula of this is really beautiful too. It's like a very thin liquid, so that's why where I say it's easy to build up, you're not gonna overdo it very quickly. Just taking the Mario F4 brush and I'm gonna start blending this in. It does dry down super well. So even though it's easy to manipulate as you're blending it in, once it dries down, it does have like a really good hold and grip, I would say, but it does not in any way, shape, or form disrupt your makeup or anything like that. So if you put this on top of foundation, I found that it lays really nicely as well. I haven't observed any issues in that regard. So on the face, here is what the Makeup by Mario looks like, and then this is the CL Shaping Stick. They honestly, there's not a huge color difference on the face with these. I feel like I definitely put more of the Makeup by Mario on, but they give like a pretty similar finish. This one is not overly dewy. It looks great on bare skin again though. Like I really do think for those natural, like more no makeup days, this is great. The bronzing serum comes in 7 shades and retails for $36. You do get a lot of product in this though, I will say. So you get just over 1 fluid ounce. So that's, I mean, this is gonna last you a really long time. Okay, so these two are just absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna take these off really quickly and then I'll be back and we'll demo the 2 more contour shades, which I'm super excited about. All right, so next up, we're gonna start more into the realm of contours, like I mentioned. So starting with the Sephora contour stick, I have to hand it to the Sephora collection. I feel like they're doing some really good things with rebranding and coming out with new products. This one was really intriguing to me. It's also definitely one of the more affordable options. So it retails $14, which is great. Again, just to swatch next to the others, we can obviously clearly a contour, much more cool shade here. This one I was really surprised is really pigmented. Like one packs a punch, which is awesome. Again, just going to apply this directly to the cheek. I do think that maybe for this product, it would be more beneficial to like warm it up on your hand if you have the time. For today, I'm just gonna show you how I would apply it on my cheek. Again, pretty pigmented, which is great. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of an eye lift and then same kind of style of application up here. I can maybe go a little lower there. I'm going to take the same Makeup by Mario brush. I've just cleansed this with some brush cleaner. And this one has, I would say, a little bit more of a dewy finish, which is great. It lays beautifully on top of makeup. And like that color to me is just chef's kiss. It's beautiful. This comes in 4 shades. And I will say again, similar to that CL stick, little disappointed in the shade range. The lightest shade of this was what I initially was looking at in store, but I swatched it on my hand and it really just looked almost ashy. Like it was just pure gray. And like, I love when contour has gray undertones, but I don't want it to look like gray on my face, if that makes sense. So I can make this light medium shade work, although I will say I think that it leaves a little bit to be desired in the shade range. So you saw how quickly that blended out. This is awesome. I'm just really impressed with this for the Sephora collection. This is a very high quality product. It's super, super blendable. It glides on like butter and it just has a really good, like slightly dewy, but still more natural finish, I would say. Like, I don't feel like this is very luminous or dewy. This one is awesome, you guys. If you're in the market or like if you're new to contouring, this would be one that I feel like is pretty easy to start playing around with. And I'm even gonna contour, I'm just gonna add some on my nose just so you can see like, this is so easy to blend in. So, and then I'm just kind of flipping the brush around and then blending that out and up into the eyelid. And I mean, like, that's so easy. That took 2 seconds. So I'm really impressed with this. 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend this one if you're looking for a new contour stick. Now, the second to last product that I'm gonna demo is the Say Effortless Dew Bronzers. These are supposedly the same formula as their blushes, which are so popular and for good reason. I don't own one, but I've swatched them. I've played with them a little bit in store. They're really good quality. But again, you've just got this doe foot applicator here. So to swatch compared to the Sephora collection here, this is the shade Salt. And I specifically picked this up because it was a much cooler shade. The rest of the collection definitely like leans warmer. It's more bronzer focused, but I just really was intrigued at this specific color. And this one retails for $25. So I am just going to, again, place this just kind of along the same spots of my face. And I would say these 2 products, the Sephora collection and this shade Salt specifically, wow, this shade Salt specifically, they're pretty similar. So it's gonna look, I think, a little more cohesive. But again, just kind of starting to blend this in. Now these Say bronzers, they do have a little bit more of a dewy finish as the name suggests, which I'm okay with because again, I've got like a nice variety of more matte, natural, and then here a little bit more dewy finish. So, but I mean, again, like this blending is almost a joke. Like it's so easy. It's wonderful. And again, like just took 2 seconds. And I mean, you're good to go. Like I could put a little more effort into that, but I don't have to, which I love. I can't tell a huge difference in the shades here, but I can in person see that this Say Dew Bronzer is a little bit more luminous. I will say, I find that this looks better over a foundation. Honestly, same with the Sephora collection. I think it's more of just like a contour. Like contours just tend to look better over some complexion product, whereas bronzers, you can sometimes just make those work a little more easily on bare skin, but these are still super pretty. All right, gonna take this off as well, and then we're gonna get like ready, and I'll demo the last product as well as another way to use the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt. So like I mentioned, at this point, I'm actually gonna get ready for my day. I'm gonna go head to work. So one of my favorite ways that I've been using this Makeup by Mario serum has been mixing it into foundations that are definitely more of a wintertime shade, but then I can warm them up with this serum and extend the longevity of the wear time. So for me, that means my Haus Labs foundation. So I'm gonna show you quickly what this shade, this is the shade 70 Fair Neutral, what this looks like on me now. It's just like way too light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to now use the pump side of this, and I'm just going to add it right into the foundation here. And this is what it looks like. And I probably should use something other than my finger, but honestly, I don't have anything in front of me. And I'm just going to mix it in to warm it up and neutralize it a little bit. And then I'm just gonna take a bit here, and then you can see that is so much closer to where I'm actually at shade-wise right now. So that's the shade I'm gonna use for my face today. So just quickly gonna wipe these off. And then I'm just gonna take the other end of that Mario F4 brush and dip into this foundation, and like, look how good of a shade match that is. That's awesome. It just so quickly like extends the longevity of your complexion products and gives you a lot more flexibility. Okay, so we're all set there with complexion. I've got my brows done. I also have a little bit of mascara on. So next I'm going to go in with a little color corrector. I just mentioned this in my last video, this Huda Beauty Faux Filter color corrector. Have really been liking this. It's just kind of that perfect undertone for me. This is the shade Pink Pomelo. Then I'm gonna go in on top with my Haus Labs concealer. I actually just switched the shade that I'm using of this, so I'm now using 14 Light Peach. I've gotten a little bit more color over the past few weeks in the summertime, and so I've noticed that I can use this shade a little bit more than 11 Light Neutral, which is what I was previously using. Always do the little lift with the concealer by the eye for just a little eye lift. I'm gonna go back in with the Say in the shade Salt. This It Cosmetics brush is also really good for blending in both bronzer and contour, but this is one that I often reach for when I'm doing my cream contour products. I feel like it does the work for you, honestly. Just gonna take what's left over and kind of bring it over the nose and call it good. Because I want this look to be a little more bronzy focused, I'm just gonna go in with a powder blush. So I'm just gonna use my Patrick Ta. This is in the shade Not Too Much. Beautiful, beautiful shade. And then, like I said, I'm just gonna go in with the powder, not the cream today. And then this is the Patrick Ta blush brush. I feel like even if I use just a little bit of this, it's still so pigmented though, which like, if you know that going into it, it's okay, but dang, these are just like really intense blushes. And then I am so excited. So the last bronzer product we have to talk about today, guys, is the Armani Luminous Silk Bronzer. This is in the shade 90. And I mean, first, can we just like talk about the packaging? They nailed it. The inside is stunning. I've used it for quite a while now, so unfortunately you can't see maybe as good of a detail of like the embossing and some of the design in the packaging, but It's stunning. This comes in 4 shades. It's also huge. One of my coworkers, when she saw this, she was like, this is the size of a dinner plate. And I'm like, you're not totally wrong, but it's like literally almost the size of my head. The only one that I can think of that's maybe a little bigger than this would be the Charlotte Tilbury powder bronzer. But regardless, I'm gonna do again another swatch here just so you can see compared to the others. Here's the Armani bronzer down here. Again, just kind of as a refresh. The CL, the Makeup by Mario, the Sephora collection, the Say, and then now the Armani bronzer. You can definitely tell the Sephora collection is the most pigmented and the Makeup by Mario is the most sheer. I can feel and I can see CL is definitely the most matte, and then Say is gonna be the most dewy. But this Armani is gorgeous. Now, I will say, feel like unfortunately a lot of people are like deterred or they shy away from it in store because when you look at it in the pan, maybe you can see on camera, but there looks to be some luminosity. Makes sense. It literally has it in the name, but not glittery. It truly just gives like a glow effect, but not like a shiny tin-like effect. So I'm just gonna take a fluffy Real Techniques brush and put some on, and then it's just like the softest focus effect, and it doesn't apply streaky, it doesn't apply like cakey at all. It's so beautiful throughout the day. So just gonna take the excess kind of on the jawline, bring it down. It's just so pretty and it feels so lightweight. It does not feel drying at all. Now, obviously, because this is the one luxury product that we're talking about today, it's also the most expensive. So this retails for $58. But the one thing I will say is you will literally like never run out of this. I mean, look at how much product you get in there. It's massive. So it's certainly an investment, but I do recognize this one is definitely very pricey. One thing I've also been loving doing with this bronzing powder is just taking it on as my eyeshadow. So I'm just taking a fluffy brush and going to work that into like kind of the crease area of my eyelid just for a more cohesive look. And it just, again, it glides on, blends so easily. But look at that, that's beautiful. And then I'm even gonna take a little smudger brush and make sure to take this along my lower lash as well, just for some added dimension. Super, super pretty. Okay, the last couple steps I'm gonna quickly take is just throwing on a lip. I got this at work actually. It's the new Ilia like hydrating crayon. This is in the shade Pink Door. I just thought that this color would go well with my Patrick Ta blush. So these are nice because you can use them as a lip liner, obviously, or a full-on lipstick and like color in your lips. I'll be honest, they're not like super hydrating, which they claim to be on me. I think that it's a good formula that glides on easily, but I don't find them to be overly hydrating. So just keep that in mind. I haven't worn this like too much either to know a lot about like the wear time. So as I find out more there, I'll let you know. I'm just going to top it with my faux filler lip gloss from Huda Beauty, just kind of in the center mostly. So again, guys, I know that we talked a lot about different bronzers today, like such great options. If you like the most natural look, I would honestly suggest the Makeup by Mario Bronzing Serum. It's gonna give you the most natural, like skin-like effect. If you like a really matte look, go with the CL Sculpt Stick. This is gonna be the most matte formula, but still easy to blend in, which is really important. If pigmentation is really important to you, go with the Sephora Contour Stick. Like, this is awesome. Really good wear time, incredibly blendable. Can't say enough good things. And if you like more of that glowy, dewy finish, with the Say Effortless Bronzer, this again was in the shade Salt. All of these were really easy to blend. This one maybe the most. And then of course for powder bronzers, I only have one, but if I had to pick one out of all of these, this might be it. It's just such a beautiful bronzer that like glides on so easily, gives that airbrushed effect, but does not look heavy or like orangey, you know, at all. But really they all have a place in the makeup routine. It just depends on what your personal preference is. That is all I've got for you today, guys. I hope that this video was helpful. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. But as always, my name is Molly, and thank you guys so much for joining me to talk about the beauty of it all. Bye, everyone.